With more bombshell news having to drop, we continue with the affidavit of Chuck Huber on part 2 of this video here today to further explore the allegations made against Vic and those that encouraged Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, Ron Toye, and many others to further destroy Vic's career, which seems to involve lots of jealousy, lots of envy, and lots of other things happening behind the scenes that caused Vic Mignogna to not only lose his job, but having his entire image be smeared in the public eye. As once more, before we begin, if you are new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with all things involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Ron Toye, and many of the news and updates involving the Vic Mignogna case, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single upload. Be sure to go on ahead and slap a like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up if you guys do stand with Vic, as well as making sure to check out and subscribe to my main channel over at UnrealNetwork, to where there you guys will be able to find lots of anime and Dragon Ball content that you guys will not get to find on here. And follow me at Twitter at UnrealNetwork to stay connected with me at all times. And if you have anything you would like to share or tag me in involving Vic Mignogna or any of the parties involved in this case, then be sure to go on ahead and follow me at Twitter. Now we are going to be picking up exactly where we left off in the previous affidavit by Chuck Huber, as Chuck Huber went along to state, and I quote, "When the trailer for the Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super Broly movie was released, Vic did not voice the character of Broly, even though Vic was the only English actor who had ever voiced Broly up to that point." Now yes, this is true. Now one must beg the question, who was it that voiced Broly in those trailers? Because what Chuck is referring to here is the original trailer when we first heard Broly's English voice dub for the trailers of the upcoming movie at the time, and that was not voiced by Vic Mignogna. As of course it continues, during this time frame I sent a text message to Chris Sabat, who responded, and I quote, "If this has anything to do with Vic, I will not talk about it." As of course it continues, Chris Sabat is the owner of Okatron 5000. Chris Sabat did most of the casting and recording for the Dragon Ball Z properties, including for the movie Dragon Ball Z Super Broly or Dragon Ball Super Broly. Chris Sabat engaged in negotiations either directly or through Funimation for various projects with Toye, owner of the Dragon Ball Z property. The voice actors employed by Funimation considered Chris Sabat to be a de facto manager at Funimation, and they believe his approval and support is vitally beneficial to succeeding at Funimation and the conventions, and the converse regarding his disapproval. So it would appear that according to Chuck, in order to essentially succeed at Funimation, you're going to have to get on Chris Sabat's good side, which an abuse of power and authority does go a long way, but you do end up reaping what you sow. As of course it continues, point number 49, Chris Sabat has more influence at Funimation and other studios, including Rooster Teeth and Toei, than Vic has ever had in the anime industry, further confirming that Chris Sabat has a lot of power, and I mean a lot of power. As of course it continues, point number 50, I heard Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel call Vic a pedo numerous times before the allegations against Vic in January/February of 2019 arose. I have observed Chris Sabat on multiple occasions talk in a derogatory manner about members of Funimation management and other people he calls friends. That right there is so important, because this is Chuck Huber. This is the guy that's been here for 20 years. So this cannot possibly be disregarded, because if the guy's telling you, hey, I've seen this guy walk around and talk smack about his own friends, what does that tell you in terms of who Chris Sabat is as a man, right? I mean, none of us know him, but Chuck does. Chuck had been friends with Chris for over 20 years. As of course it continues, I was aware of no rumors or accusations that Vic committed any of these things, which include of course harassment-like behavior, until the accusations arose in January/February of 2019 on the internet. I was aware of no rumors or statements that identified any purported victims of assault or harassment by Vic until January/February of 2019 on the internet. Jamie Marchi and I have been close friends and writing partners since 2009. She never mentioned the hair-pulling incident at Funimation that she alleges occurred between Vic and her. So Chuck is saying that he had been friends with this woman for 10 years, right? And being that he's been a working partner with her, being the fact that he's been around her for 10 years, not once had Jamie ever stated to him anything about Vic touching her hair, right? Until January of 2019. How ironic is that? Think about this, guys. I want you guys to think about this and share this video out to as many people as possible, because this is some scary stuff. As of course it goes on to continue, I believe Jamie Marchi would have mentioned the hair pulling incident if it had bothered her, since she is typically very outspoken. In addition, while Jamie Marchi, Monica Rial, and other Funimation employees often expressed animosity towards Vic, they had never claimed that he had harassed or assaulted anyone, right? Take a look at this! Their animosity was primarily due to his personality, his promiscuity, and his Christian faith, and claims that he was difficult to work with. So they never liked him because he was difficult to work with, which is fine. It's fine not to like somebody just because you think they're difficult to work with, right? That's completely fine. In my opinion, that's okay. I don't have to like you if I find it difficult to work with you, right? But not once was it ever mentioned that he had done anything to anybody until that point in time. As it continues, in 2009, Jamie Marchi and I worked with Chris Sabat on con.com.com, which whatever the hell that is, which was a website where voice actors could provide content for fans. Vic was a digital guest on that website and our primary marketing force because of his prolific convention schedule. In dozens of specific conversations about Vic, there was never any concern about being a pedo or criminal behavior. I have never seen Vic behave inappropriately with any fans of any age. Although voice actors and other Funimation employees called Vic a pedo and accused him of liking underage girls for years, they never said these things to Vic and never expressed any concerns about working with Vic or doing any panels at conventions with Vic until 2019, nor did they express any concern for the convention fans until 2019. So this basically goes to show that nobody cared about the fans until 2019, right? As it continues, the assault and harassment allegations by the defendants and Funimation employees have seriously damaged Vic's career by inducing numerous conventions to cancel his appearance, by inducing producers and directors not to consider him or terminate him from any projects. Jamie Marchi, Monica Rial, myself, and almost all other voice actors have kissed and hugged hundreds of fans at conventions, no matter their age. I approached Jamie Marchi and Monica Rial to attempt a settlement between Vic and the defendants in early March 2019. Vic was not aware of my efforts. I was initially supportive of what Jamie and Monica were doing because my understanding was that they were, with inflated versions of their stories, attempting to help the alleged underage victims of assault by Vic, which they, along with Michelle Speck, directly told me existed, who would otherwise be too afraid to speak out. I never considered Jamie and Monica to be victims of attempted assault by Vic. I drafted a proposed settlement by Vic that included the phrase, "I am a addict," because my conversations with Jamie and Monica Rial convinced me that Vic would have to admit some form of guilt for them to settle. Vic never saw or approved that phase. Number 69, I am not educated about addiction, nor am I an expert about blank addiction. I talked with Vic about blank addiction and advised him to speak with his counselor about it. I now believe his activity and infidelities are more closely associated to the common narcissism and ego from men in his position. I believe Vic is sincere in his efforts with his counselor to correct the abject moral failings associated with his behavior. My settlement efforts were an attempt to help my friend Vic, who is suffering tremendously, to protect Jamie and Monica from the difficulty of a lawsuit and to heal the anime community, which has been seriously divided by the allegations against Vic. During my settlement efforts, Todd Hapercorn told me that Chris Sabat, Ron Toye, and Sean Schimmel told him that he was in danger of never working at Funimation again because Hapercorn retained the same law firm as Vic. So they're threatening this guy, they're trying to blacklist him. Again, there's more information. I also feared that in my 20-year voice acting career at Funimation and personal reputation would be damaged by retaliation for my association with Vic. So even Chuck himself was scared because of his association with Vic and simply being friends with the guy and having to be terminated just because of his association. As of course it continues, I contacted Jen and then the CEO of Funimation to discuss my concerns with Chris Sabat's gaslighting of Sean Schemmel, damaging use of his authority towards actors, and his attempts to destroy my career. In early March 2019, who met with me and advised that Vic would lose and have to pay via something that he had earned about called an anti-slap motion. He also, in response to my specific concerns about Chris Sabat, said that he had been friends with Sabat for about 17 years and he did not believe me. This meeting occurred on March 5th, 2019 at 2:30 p.m. in Jen's office, approximately a month to a month and a half prior to Vic filing the current pending lawsuit. I and my wife fear direct, planned, specific retaliation from Chris Sabat and those loyal to him in response to this affidavit that will be damaging to my reputation and career. I have known Vic for many years and I do not believe that he has ever assaulted anyone, approached anyone past to the point of telling him no. I believe Vic utilized his position of privilege in shameful ways in attempts to obtain favors. In my experiences with Vic, if someone acted like they did not want to be hugged or kissed, he stopped immediately. Funimation employees including Jamie Marchi, Monica Rial, and Michelle Specht have advised me more than once since February that criminal charges are coming against Vic. In response, I encourage them to help these alleged underage victims of assault to come forward. When asked to provide specifics to these allegations, they couldn't or refused to do so. When I was told about the context of the confidential investigation undertaken by Tammy Dembo on behalf of Funimation, my own opinion was that Funimation, Jamie Marchi, and Monica Rial acted together with encouragement from Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel to destroy Vic's career and life. I believe that the purported incidents investigated by Tammy Dembo occurred off Funimation property and not at Funimation events. The one incident that purportedly occurred on Funimation property occurred prior to Sony's acquisition of Funimation. Thus, the no hugs policy from Sony was not in effect. I do not believe that Vic kissed Sarah without her consent. I have never heard rumors of Vic behaving inappropriately at Funimation. Funimation has supported the accusations made by the defendants that Vic is a predator, pedo, and of course many other things by supporting the accusations directly with their own public statements. It appears to me that Ron Toye, Monica Rial, and Jamie Marchi have been speaking with Funimation in tweets that have been made by them since January of 2019. Holy crap, Chuck Huber coming out and having to make the claim that Chris Sabat, Sean Schemmel, and many other Funimation employees, primarily those two, have been encouraging people like Monica and Jamie to further push this narrative to destroy Vic's career. Now the question is, right? The question here is why? I highly doubt that it's because Vic is a prima donna or an a-hole or any of that, right? There has to be a bigger reason as to why that was. Why was Chris and why were Sean encouraging others to do this to Vic? If what Chuck is saying is true, which of course he has the most experience with these individuals, having to be friends with them and having to work there for over 20 years and knowing certain people for longer than 10, then why did they do this to Vic? Was it because of this rumored director role? Was it the fact that they just wanted him gone because of jealousy purposes? Why this and why now? That is the question that many people are asking, but again, I want to get your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below, as we are going to be exploring a lot more, including the affidavit of Chris Laitosh, the owner of Kamehacon, on the next video. So again, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single video. Give this video a big fat like if you guys are in support for Vic, and be sure to also follow me on Twitter at UnrealNetwork. Be sure to go on ahead and follow me on there if you guys have anything to tag me in or share with me on Twitter. This is crazy. I think that this is disgusting, being the fact that I can eerily enough relate to a lot of the things said by Chuck, and the fact that people do want to go against you for unknown reasons. But for this case right now, what I really want to know, as well as many other people, is why. So that's a question that I feel like may never get answered, but it's a very important question to ask. So again, thank you all so much for your time, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace.